Okay, filming.
Okay, so to make gunpowder, the first things you're gonna need is one or more containers. So I've got these two. Pliers to squeeze the matches, because you're gonna be using matches. Matches, of course. One or more different types of containers to burn it in. Paper. Where'd my paper go? And something to grind with, and of course a water source. Pause. A water source. So first thing you're gonna do is take, preferably your bigger container, your pliers, and your matches. So what you're gonna do, you're just gonna squeeze this. And you're going to do this till you have at least, depends on how much you want, but really the more the better, because the more gunpowder you get. Also, one match will barely give you anything, so you're going to have a lot of matches to equal up to a lot of powder. Alright, I'm going to skip to where I have more. Okay, so, I just finished, and I decided to add some of my green matches, instead of just my red ones. And this is what it looks like right now. It's, it's nice with the mixed color. So now what we gotta do, we gotta take the paper, put this in a room, take the paper, and then just put it right in the paper. What you could do, you could just grind it like this with whatever sort of thing, but it's safer if you do it like this, because if it accidentally lights, the fire won't erupt in your face. I know this because I had it folded and it ignited, and it did not burn in my face, it just created smoke. Just fold over, do this several times, and then, I also forgot to mention that you need a filter. Also, it will probably most likely ignite if you're slamming it, so don't slam it. After a few times of grinding, it looks kind of like this. It's still, of course, not ready because it's not powder yet. So what you're gonna need to do, you're gonna take your container, and you're just gonna pour it in. Just gonna point it towards me so it makes it easier. Alright, so you got it in the container like this. Looks much better than before. Then you're gonna take your filter. You're gonna pour it in, and then you're just gonna do this. Get the fine powder out. Then you do this, and you're just gonna pour it straight back in the container. And then you're just gonna put this back. You're gonna repeat this step several times until you can tell it's all powder like this. So, until everything is like that, then you can't stop. Unless the thinner it is, the faster it'll burn. So I'll cut it right here. Okay. After I did this several times, like 5 or 6 times of filtering, I get this fine powder, and you're probably gonna be left with something like this, like the unground. Mixed with, and it's gonna have a little bit of pieces of wood. So Right now, I'm not gonna do that, so I'm just gonna put it in my my ashtray or burning tray, whatever you want to call it, and just for make this thinner, I'm just gonna spread it out a little bit, and then I'm gonna grind this again, because the thinner it is, the faster it'll burn. See, this is what it looks like when it's compressed, sort of. By the way, if too much pressure is applied to this in a confined space, it will ignite. So, oh, and also, never use mortar and pestle when doing this, because that will ignite the gunpowder, even if it's just the matches. It'll ignite, and you don't want that, because you want to make it into powder first. So let's see. We have that used match. Just mix it, you know, whatever. And pour it into here. Then we are left with this. Which, it's kind of a greenish red powder, which I think looks kind of cool, other than just normal red and normal green. So now we're done with that step. What we can do is, we can just take the, stuff from the excess stuff. That's just gonna take some time. We can just take that, put it in the middle, or we'll burn that later. Actually, I'll show you the difference, between these two. So, right now. So, okay, there's one pile. And, just give me a second. I have this nifty little tool for taking small amounts of gunpowder at once. Little piece of Lego. And then we'll just put it right next to it. Boom. Alright, so now we'll compare the two. Alright, match. Two matches. Alright, so, we're gonna do the unfully grinded, mix, which is this, with the wood bits and everything. We're gonna do that one first. Oh, whoopsie. Well, see, that burned pretty quickly. I'll show you the fine powder one again, because it didn't really count. So, that burnt really well. So we have it right here. Now let's look at this. It's much better. I think it looks personally much cooler too. So I'll put that away. What you can do with it, which I like to do, I like to make this in large quantities and store it in this container. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to fill this up, and I'll turn the camera back on when I'm done. Something to keep in mind is that I've filled it with all the gunpowder we made. See, it's gone. And something to keep in mind is that when you ignite it, it's going to be the shell or whatever thing, most likely metal, is going to be extremely hot. So I put this tube right around it, cardboard. It just makes it mildly hot. You know, it's not that bad. It makes it so I can easily pick it up. But also, if you were to pull this out, and if you were to put it in here, because this is where we're going to be lighting it from, if you were to drop little droplets of water down here, they would sizzle and cool it down much faster. But just because it's easier, I'm going to use this. So, safety. ignition awesomeness.